Hey mom, yesterday I bought a pair of black leather shoes for 500 baht. Today after school, I bought a pair of sneakers for 600 baht because the ones I had purchased before the school year started, just 3 months ago, had already worn out. Together, these two pairs of shoes cost me 1,100 baht, which is less than $35. To my American trained perspective, that price almost feels unreal. In the US, I would expect to pay $60 to $100 for a single pair of decent shoes. By American standards, it feels cheap. But this is where perspective matters. I'm no longer living on a US salary. I'm living and working in Thailand. My earnings are in baht, and when I spend, it's not against the backdrop of an American paycheck. It's against the backdrop of a Thai one. What looks cheap through the lens of a dollar can in truth represent a significant piece of my local income. Looking at it this way changes the picture. For example, while $35 might feel insignificant in the US, 1,100 baht in Thailand carries a different weight. It could cover a week of groceries, several days of transportation, or multiple meals out. Thinking in baht terms forces me to recognize that each purchase has a more meaningful impact than it would if I were earning a US wage. Another part of recalibration is recognizing local durability and replacement cycles. The sneakers I bought 3 months ago are already worn out. While the upfront cost felt low, the shorter lifespan means I may end up buying sneakers more often than I would in the US. Over time, the total expenditure might not feel as cheap as it does in the moment. This is another way perspective matters. Cost isn't just about price at purchase, but about long-term value relative to use. The broader lesson here is that value is always contextual. What seems inexpensive in one country can be significant in another when adjusted for local wages, cost of living, and replacement cycles. By grounding myself in the Thai economic context, I can make smarter, more sustainable financial decisions instead of relying on comparisons that don't apply anymore. In short, recalibrating how I see value means shifting from a dollar-based mindset to a baht-based one. It's about respecting the local economy, aligning my spending with my actual income, and learning to see purchases not through the lens of cheap compared to America, but through the reality of what it costs here and what it means for my budget. On a larger scale, this experience highlights what it means to adapt financially as a global citizen. Each new context comes with its own benchmarks for value, and part of respecting that context is adjusting how I measure worth. Finance is not just numbers on a currency exchange app. It's about the lived reality of income, expenses, and trade-offs within a specific system. To live responsibly, I need to keep asking not how cheap is this compared to back home, but what percentage of my income here does this represent, and what does it mean for my budget and lifestyle? Buying shoes may seem like a small errand, but it carries a bigger lesson. To live abroad successfully, I need to constantly recalibrate, redefine value based on the local economy, and anchor myself in the currency I'm actually earning in. That perspective shift is what allows me to spend wisely, live responsibly, and truly adapt to life in a new country. I ate dinner and that was it for my day. Okay, love you. Bye.